In the latest game of Tesla throwing out massive numbers, they stated that they believe the Optimus business will generate north of $10 trillion in revenue. That's right, $10 trillion of revenue. Now, I'll talk about that side of the business and other things that Tesla is developing that's driving prospects and investor enthusiasm for one of the hottest stocks in the market right now.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So here you have the comments from Tesla CEO saying that longer term, Optimus has the potential to be north of $10 trillion in revenue. So in that environment, he says you can obviously afford a lot of investment to develop that technology, which is true. If you believe that it's going to generate $10 trillion in revenue, you can invest $500 billion to develop that technology. And in fact, that would be a great deal because your return on investment will be like 20x, assuming that it results in $10 trillion in profit eventually, right? $10 trillion in revenue. That's annual. And of course, it's going to generate more than just 1 year of revenue. So in that world, of course, $500 billion is a worthwhile investment. So Tesla stock investors, you can be prepared for a several $billion investment in this technology if the CEO indeed believes that the return on investment is going to be this incredible. Moving forward, they also said that they're going to be launching unsupervised full self-driving as a paid service in Austin, Texas in June. That was great news. All the delays, all the pushbacks are finally over, and it looks like Tesla will be launching unsupervised full self-driving in Austin, Texas in June. They feel confident in being able to do an initial launch of unsupervised, no one in the car, full self-driving in Austin in June. That's great news for Tesla stock investors. It doesn't need to be great, right? It could just be something that is driving the same loop, like going from the same spot to the other same spot and doing only that one route all day long and taking maybe 2 or 3 customers in a day. Doesn't matter. It doesn't need to, the tangible things don't need to be great. It's the marketing of these things that will result in great news for Tesla stock investors. Just to be able to say, like, look, we have unsupervised self-driving in the world today. It's operating right now. We're doing it. Even if it's just, 2 customers in a day or whatever thing that it might be, that's less important for Tesla stock. This is what will drive the stock price increase, is just the announcement, the press release saying, the pictures and everything, all the promotion around the event of actually having that, self-driving happening in Austin, Texas. And then, they'll launch a second city and a third city, even, if it's just 1 or 2 little places that they're doing the self-driving. Doesn't matter. It's just the marketing and the advertising, the word of mouth, the buzz that it'll create from these things that really drives Tesla stock performance. Investors have become convinced that these events lead to stock price increases. So they buy the stock in anticipation of these events. And then when it comes time to actually see the tangible results, by that time, they're already selling something else in the future. They're already talking about something else that's happening like 6 months later or 9 months later or 12 months later, some other event or some other announcement. And so the actual results being less than great, which is what those that are following this stock with a clear set of glasses, we tend to see this as, they say they're going to have a $25,000 model. They have a $40,000 model. They say they're going to have this and they have something else. And so This is what is probably going to happen. Nevertheless, I think this event will be great news for Tesla stock investors. With regard to Optimus, obviously, I'm making these revenue predictions that sound absolutely insane. I realize that, the CEO saying. He realizes that these predictions are insane, but then saying that I think they will prove to be accurate. I'm making these claims that it's going to generate this much revenue, and I think they will be accurate. And he can make that statement because he can share data that says, look, according to what we've seen so far with the progress, if we extrapolate that progress forward 15 years, then at the end of that 15 years, this is what I reasonably expect to happen. I can reasonably make that prediction because this is what I see so far. Despite the fact that in the real world, these may never happen, the predictions can be made, and the increase in the valuation of the stock price as a result of these predictions is happening today. So they've been doing this for a long time now, and they've done a great job of keeping shareholder value higher despite the lack of tangible progress on these developments. Now, I said the lack of tangible progress, which is an understatement. They have made tangible progress, but nowhere near the rate that would assume these products will become revenue generating products anytime in the near future. That's the kind of tangible progress I'm talking about. These products are not resulting in actual revenues and cash flows and profits anytime soon. And so investors will have to wait a very long time for the Optimus robot. And in my opinion, I think as the realities of the driverless car market start to take shape and Tesla stock investors start to realize, now I fully believe that they're going to develop driverless car technology. I think that's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. Is it next year, 5 years from now, 8 years from now? They're going to develop that technology if they keep spending money and giving attention to that technology. They will develop it. But the market reality will disappoint. The actual revenue and cash flow and profit from that market, I think, will be less than what they were initially predicting. And so as that reality starts to take shape, the Optimus robot will be time for them to start hyping up the Optimus robot. So 5 years later, as you start to realize the driverless car market is not generating anywhere near those exciting projections that they were making for this whole time, then they can start making exciting predictions about the Optimus robot. And by that time, they may have made more progress on the robot, so they can have announcements and they can have demonstrations with the robot. And then all the attention will go to the robot. And then the disappointments of the driverless car market will be less in focus with investors if they continue that strategy that they've been able to execute for the previous 5 years, which is, whenever it comes time to deliver, they shift the focus to the future technology because the actual technology that they delivered is nowhere near what they were forecasting in the previous 3 years. Hey everyone, if you like watching my videos, then I've added a great complimentary product just for you. I've written a book that's available for sale now that highlights my 6-step investing framework. Even if you don't follow that investing framework, just reading it and knowing how I evaluate stocks will make it a lot more interesting and informative to watch my videos. I've added the link in the description below.